Y'all know before we ask now, you got CJ So Cool basically having people sign a petition and donations to get full custody of the twins. The reason why he's doing this encounter of royalties temporary protection order. And I just find it interesting that this came about, when she got this married, aka online pimp. And don't get me wrong, CJ had plenty of chances to abstain from speaking on royalty in the kids. And I know that it can be hurtful, what was said in regards to the allegations. I'm gonna continue saying that because the reputation of a man, regardless if you're seen as innocent or proven innocent, they're gonna still be a group of individuals that's gonna believe it, and it can still tarnish your legacy. But let's see what basically what's going on with this petition.
So CJ So Cool is fighting for full custody of his children. Now someone started a petition and CJ signed it. As of now, it's up to 2,000 signatures on CJ getting his kids full time. Now CJ is also selling shirts stating that each shirt sold will go directly towards his lawyer fees for getting full custody of his kids. So now the petition that's
Now that's crazy work. Now, don't get me wrong, I think that's good marketing, in regards to, selling those shirts and for his lawyer fees. But CJ lost, a significant portion of his income with Snapchat. I actually think it was just too much. When he posted royalty, her passes or whatever the fuck, it was, I just didn't think that was a great move. It was a little bit too invasive. And when you do things like that, it makes a person, go to the extreme. And I think he should have just backed off. Even with the CGA on 32's thing, he could have did his little jabs, his little pokes, but he could have just backed away silently and just started doing what he had to do. His Snapchat was popping. He could have went in a whole different direction with his Snapchat and continue making money. But once that revenue is cut off, now you gotta find another way to make money. Even though his YouTube is on the decline, I always felt like CJ had so many opportunities to do different things. And we already know that Royalty is not a YouTuber. Obviously, she has passed in the OF, which is not a good influence on her children at all. Y'all already see what's going on with Northwest. Look at Kim Kardashian and the lifestyle that she lived. Now look what's going on with Northwest. Now think about this in terms to CJ, you know, when it comes down to if he would have stayed around Jalea Nation and Leon, how the state that Leon is in is crazy work. But I just think the $6,000 a month plus trying to get full custody of the twins on her side is crazy work. And he felt like he had to counter that motion, and go back. So let's get into it.
CJ and over 2,000 others signed says, I'm writing this petition because I believe in the importance of a father's role in the lives of his children. As a loyal supporter of CJ So Cool, I have seen firsthand the love and commitment he has for his children, Cordea and Cordero. It's evident that he is dedicated to providing them with the best possible environment to grow and thrive. CJ So Cool has consistently demonstrated his ability to nurture and care for his children. He prioritizes their well-being and he ensures they have access to every opportunity and resource needed for a positive upbringing. As someone who follows his journey, it is clear that he has the emotional, mental, and financial capability to support Cordea Cadero in all aspects of their lives. Research and evidence support the significant impact a father has on the well-being of his children. Statistically, children who grow up with an active involvement from their fathers tend to excel in school, have higher self-esteem, and develop healthier relationships.
And that's 100% true. Statistically speaking, if you look at the facts, people that grow up in single mother households, this is a statistical fact, tend to be degenerates, tend to go to prison at a higher rate, are emotionally unstable. They do not have the mental fortitude to navigate this life and have temperament. That is the issue. And a lot of people do not realize this. A lot of people do not realize this. This is downright crazy work. Like, I don't understand why people don't realize, when their father is not in the household, why you think it's such an epidemic when you look at, the single mothers, raising kids and these kids growing up and being just overly emotional, crashing out, deleting each other at high rates. I mean, people going to the LGBT, at a higher rate because the fathers are not around. And these women do not respect the men. And it's more prevalent in the black community. And this is where it has to end. People got to stop celebrating people taking kids away from the fathers. I think it's weird as hell. You even got men out there saying, "Yeah, she need to get full cut." You are a freaking weird. Like, I ain't gonna even go there. I ain't even. You're an insubordinate, redundant, just fool. That's really what's wrong with people like that. Simpletons, lacking brain cells. How are you a man even uttering such things? That is obscene heresy at its finest. Like, you got to just think about it. People that grow up with their fathers understand, the difference between what somebody is, pushing as masculinity, which is not, because they never even seen it up close. It's like trying to say something is something, but you never ever experienced it. Of course, as a woman is not around a man and she has kids, she's gonna be trying to tell her daughter, her son about what masculinity is, not having a damn clue because they're not a man. Or the men that they have chose or are dealt with that wasn't, upstanding, citizens, law-abiding citizens, and then they base every man off of that individual that they attracted, that they decided to have a kid with. That's what tends to happen on a lot of occasions.
DJ So Cool's active presence in the lives of Cordea and Cordero promises a brighter future for them. To ensure the best interest for these beautiful children, I urge you to grant full custody to CJ So Cool. It's not about providing a household, but about creating a nurturing, a stable environment that supports their growth into happy, healthy.
And that is true. A lot of y'all can say what you want and be like, "Oh, royalty did it," nah. Royalty does not have a stable environment. She's always at a hotel. They always making videos in the back of a store. I don't even know what the hell be going on. They set their camera up in the back of a store in the middle of the mall somewhere, and or Leon is at the park for 8 hours out of school, and he still can't do one trick successfully. I don't know what's sadder, him not being able to do the trick or him being at the park for 8 hours afterwards. I don't know. I just hope that we'll see him, do a kick flip or something on that skateboard, but it just ain't happening. And then the boy ain't got a retwist in 1,000 years, but allegedly making all this money. And then you never see them in their own room have anything, but people keep celebrating that shit. Why are you celebrating that? Why are y'all pushing the fact that Nation is dressing like Jalee, who's 18 years old, who literally don't want to go to college, probably didn't even, like when you really think about it, what she held back a grade. I don't even like it's just weird with that situation. They didn't even go to school properly with the online because they was moving and a whole bunch of other bullshit happened. So who even knows? People can say they kids in school, but where's the proof? Where's the proof that your kids actually in school and they're happy and they're, whatever, doing the right thing? It's like people can say whatever they want to say all day long. Y'all just believe it because you're simpletons. That's what I always say, man. People better learn to have a mind of their own instead of just, being fanned out and acting like a fool.
Healthy adults. Please join me in supporting this petition to grant CJ So Cool full custody of Cordea and Cordero. Together, our voices can help create the best possible future for these children. Sign this petition to show your support for a caring father who is devoted to his children's happiness and success.
Mind you, she got upset when he wanted the twins to go to school, and she literally objected from the she literally said, "No, I don't want them going to school." But then you're okay with your other kids being enrolled? Like, come on now, that's being a hypocrite. That ain't right. You're only upset that they're going to school because you know that CJ is putting his best foot forward as a father, making sure that they get the proper care. Royalty has this weird aspect on life where she thinks that, them going to school is somehow going to, destroy them or something. They're not involved in sports because the coaches. I heard her say that before. Oh, the coaches will do something to you. Create that's manipulation. Because when they're home, look how they act. They act worse than what they would have been acting if they was at school. I mean, choose the lesser of two evils. Now, you can keep your kids home if you're an individual who has high intellect, the ability to be wise and break down certain things and teach them on a level where they're able to grasp it and hold on to it. But when you're literally telling your kids to go to homeschool and you're not around, you're steady on passes, clapping your cheeks on OF with a pimp that's married. You got to think about that shit's crazy work. I just find that shit to be crazy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about this situation. It all started just because CJ wanted the twins to go to school, and then she decided to do the whole, protection order. Just stupid trying to. And usually people do the protection order thing or the TPO is when they try to get full custody from you. That's like the regular degular thing to do. Every lawyer tells the woman to do a temporary protection order because it makes it look better. Like, oh my God, the kids are in danger. So, you can use that as a means of, a probable cause for you to go ahead and get custody. But that shit ain't gonna work. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. And I'm up. How